Lately, Dollar Tree has been hit or miss, but this trip was definitely a hit. I definitely scored coming here to this Dollar Tree. I was so impressed with some of the items that reminded me of Hobby Lobby when I got this little, it looks like a little Valentine's Day gingerbread house. It says, I only have fries for you on that plushie. And then there's a little cute little dog there, and I did see some cute little gnomes, but I thought these ones were overpriced. $3 for those. It wasn't too long ago that things like this were literally $1.25 or $1.50, so they doubled in price. There were some items that I liked that were not $1.25, $1.50, like they had some little flowers and stuff. I didn't buy those. They're interesting. I would have liked to see how they operate and so forth. I really do like the charcuterie board here that has love written on it. I think this can double as decor. So, like, have it setting out maybe on a mantle or something when it's not being used, at least for the month of February, and maybe a few weeks in January. Why? What harm does that, what harm is it to start Valentine's a little bit early? I think my new tradition will be that Valentine's for me, my platonic Valentine's is going to be starting February 1st, and that way we can enjoy all of that stuff. Even the last week of January. So I was looking here. I didn't buy these, but those are really cute. They're only $5. I think they were $5 for those baskets. They do remind me of some things I have at home. Should I need them, I guess I know where to go. Um, these little mailboxes were $5, and I didn't buy them, but they're kind of nostalgic because they reminded me of when I was little. And I don't know if probably comment below if you remember this, but when I was like in kindergarten, first grade, maybe you experienced this too. We would make little like shoebox mailboxes, and we would make a hole in the top and decorate it and everything. And everybody on Valentine's Day would give out little um, treasures and little notes and stuff. And I thought that was really special. These obviously are not $1, but you get 20 lollipops that has a little spot there for you to write to and from. They are $4 for 20. And I will tell you this, that class sizes in public schools are usually 25 to 30 kids. So you would need to get 2 boxes, but that would leave you leftovers where you could put down like all the different teachers' names that the child has, maybe some office staff and teachers and that kind of stuff. Maybe a couple extra friends that they have that are not in their classes. So I would do 2 boxes of that, and then that would be my card, right? So you would just do 2 boxes. My kids now are older. My youngest child is in middle school, and they don't do those kinds of exchanges anymore. They do like candygrams, though. That would be something kind of cool to have as a candygram for a school. They have these little uh, cotton candy bags for the. I feel like it's a little much, but it's like $4. It's not enough for a whole class. You would end up spending a lot if you want to get for enough for a whole group of kids. But if they're just giving them out to a couple of friends, I think it would be fine. It's just when you have like that responsibility of bringing enough for like 25 to 30 kids. Um, and you can do a little bit of math there, like whenever it says serving size and so forth, you multiply. There's also a place on there for the Twizzlers to put to and from messages. The little throws here are not bad. They are $6, and um, like it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not really high quality. So one thing I was thinking was like for a pet. So a lot of times, like if I see like little doggy blankets and stuff, those are often $20 or $30 for a little blanket for your dog or cat. And if it's $6 and it gets ultra really messed up, you could throw it away. I know that's like kind of wasteful, but it's like that's what I was thinking with my dogs, which are very, very messy, very muddy. Like if it got really bad, you wouldn't have to wash it. You wouldn't feel too bad if it got ruined. I like these here. They're $3 each, and it says love. And then there's one that says XOXO, hugs and kisses. And I'll be honest with you guys, I can't say minimalist because that would be a lie. I am not very fashionable. But I really like these two signs, and I'm trying to be a little bit more homey and trying to up my game with like decor and stuff because I really am just like whatever goes kind of situation. I have been known to leave my Christmas tree up all year long and for more than 1 year. So um, don't judge. But I was thinking I really do want to make an effort to celebrate more. And I know this is kind of goofy because I'm going through a divorce and here I am like celebrating Valentine's. But I'm not going to get a bouquet of flowers or candy or whatever. I'm not going to have a romantic date on Valentine's Day because I'm not ready for that. And then also, I'm going through heartbreak, you know? He will have that for sure, but I won't. So I'm going to do it for myself. And ladies out there, gentlemen, ladies, whatever, whoever you are out there, do not feel like you have to miss out on Valentine's just because you don't have a significant other. I have decided to show myself a little bit more love, um, because heartbreak and all that kind of stuff. Valentine's is a very lonely time for a lot of people, and so even if it's not a romantic love, I think it um, definitely goes without saying that we should show people that we love them every day of the year. But for those people are alone, especially like widows and widowers, people who are going through divorces or breakups, or people who are maybe together but lonely, you know what I'm saying? You know who those people are. They're like, it's worse than being alone when there's like a dysfunctional relationship. So I think we should do kind little things for people, even if it's not a romantic love, because there's many different types of love. There's familial love, there's brotherly love, there's many different types of platonic love that are even sometimes more powerful than romantic love. So definitely, I'm trying to find a way to make this kind of a special time. Um, I don't want to be selfish and say for myself, but like my heart's really hurting. And so I think trying to up my game with Valentine's is going to be cathartic and healing for me. And to show myself that kind of true love, like real love of, that you're worthy of someone to love you, even if you have no one, even if you have no family, even if you're lonely and you feel like you don't have friends or you don't have anybody around, you are worthy of love and you have God's love. You are the apple of God's eye. All right. Um, but they have so many cool things here. Actually, I know the price is not right, you guys. It was nice before when you could go down the aisles and everything was $1. I remember when I was a teenager and I went to visit my cousins in California, and they had those like 99 cent and up stores, and like almost everything was way more than that. Like I picked up one really ugly, like fake flower, and it was like $6.99. I'm not kidding you guys. I was like 13, so we're talking about like 33 years ago, and it was like $5 or $6 for, or $6 or $7, 6, 7. I'm just kidding. And it was ridiculous. I remember thinking, this is ugly. I wouldn't even want it. Why would somebody pay that for that? Obviously, somebody did. Otherwise, they wouldn't keep selling it that way. Um, so they have all kinds of stuff that I've never seen in Dollar Tree, which obviously is only possible for them because they're charging more money. But Russell Silvers, and that's not a small. It's not a really small container of them. Like you used to be able to find like name brand stuff, but it would be like a very small like sample size, and I was okay with that. Actually, I really do miss the Dollar Tree the way it was, where you could just walk in and you knew everything you touched was $1. These things you have to kind of be more like cognizant about. You have to do the math and figure out, okay, well, is this really worth it? And then, even back when things were $1, there always were a few deals that were better in a regular store. Like their canned vegetables, you can usually find canned veggies that are cheaper in stores like Winco for sure. Maybe Walmart, maybe even for Myers, like especially if there are places having sales. So I mean, the food aisles. There are some things that, I mean, I'd be interested in looking at. It's fine. Um, the gummy bears. That's actually not bad. You get 25 little packages of gummy bears. That they're the Valentine's Day exchange things too. 25. You might be able to get away with one bag for that because of class sizes. So if you have little kids and they're doing those exchanges, find out how many kids are in the class, and always include something for the teacher. And some kids have more than one teacher, so think about that too. Um, it's always nice. Anyway, there's all kinds of little. I would say the little heart shaped boxes. Usually, those candies are so gross. I remember getting those as like a gift from a boy or somebody, when I was a kid, and thinking, "Oh, this is so special." Then you have the candy, and you're like, "Wait, I'd rather have like a Reese's Pieces peanut butter cup or something." Some of my students were actually asking me if I would buy some more of the peppermint little discs, the mints, and they don't usually ask for those, so it was kind of funny. Um, but like after the holidays and pretty much all of the little peppermints were gone, some kids were actually specifically asking for them, which was unusual because they usually are very specific about wanting the strawberry ones that are like literally have this strawberry hard candy that has a squishy stuff on the inside. They're like 25 candies for like $1.25, which is a good deal. They also like the butterscotches. So I was kind of surprised they're asking me for the mints still. And so I went ahead and grabbed some extra bags of mints to satisfy those kiddos. And again, I'm just kind of looking through the Valentine's stuff because, it's almost a month away. So it's kind of approaching. And like I said, I want to have some items for my students um, that they can buy from my little student store. We use the PBIS system, positive behaviors, and all of that. And also thinking like if I make up some goodie bags for my kids or something, that would be kind of nice. I'm going to be starting some new family traditions since the family and the family dynamic is changing and shifting. I want to make things even more special just because, we've gone through a lot. Divorce and separations are so hard on kids. I can tell you what, middle school is about one of the hardest times to have parents breaking up. I've seen that firsthand as a teacher and seeing kids just be a total hot mess when those kids have gone through it. And now my own youngest child is a middle schooler and he's going through that as well. So that's not something I planned on happening, but some things are beyond our control. Um, there will not be anybody buying me a Valentine this year. So I thought, what am I going to do that I can still express platonic love, motherly love for my children and make this time of year really special, especially since, like I said, we're going through such a hard time. Um, and if I didn't say this already, if you know somebody who's going through a hard time during this time of year, someone who's alone on holidays, Valentine's, someone who's gone through a heartache or someone a breakup or separation, or I'm sure we all have a friend or two who are in a bad relationship, who don't receive things, or who don't feel loved, even if they do receive things. Where like the actions of the person involved in that relationship is toxic or harmful or just negative in many ways. The gifts don't make up for that. And yeah, I think we know that. Like getting a bouquet of flowers after someone cheated on you is not going to be very therapeutic. So if you have someone like that in your life, try to find a way to show them your love on Valentine's. Not that it needs to become another Christmas or like another extra birthday or something, but a lot of people feel that sense of there's something missing on this holiday because the perception is everyone else has a Valentine. everyone else is doing something special. Everyone else is having a date night, is getting a bouquet of flowers, has somebody to give them a hug and cuddle and all that kind of stuff. And that's just not true. Um, like I would bet that at least 50% of people, if not like 95% of people, experience intense loneliness on a holiday like Valentine's, because you're supposed to feel loved on this day. You're supposed to have a soulmate on this day. And even people who are married, a lot of people don't feel like that they have that, right? So remember, and if that's you, remember that God loves you and he doesn't make mistakes. He made you very special. He made you worthy of love. He made me worthy of love. And just because you don't have it from another human in a romantic way does not mean you don't have something better, which is God's love and the love of the people who actually matter. Now, it's not always the same because you're not getting a Valentine's. You might not be, no one's smooching you, maybe. Um, but I was thinking I wanted to make some like garland. That was the word I was looking for earlier. So I want to make some garland. I have some like Highland cow garland I got from Hobby Lobby last year, which I really, really like. And I'm going to be setting that out. But I was thinking how cute it would be, and I will do a video later. Um, but I'm going to be using some of that thick ribbon to make a garland. And I'm going to use, it's going to be very, very simple. I'm going to be using some, I won't call them paper clips, no, clothespins, that I bought for Christmas decor that I didn't end up actually using them. I will use them. I just didn't have time. We ran out of time. I had a lot on my plate and I had way more ideas than I had time to make them up. So the idea I'm going to do here is I'm going to be using ribbon. You could use any ribbon you want. You could use yarn. You could crochet something, whatever. I don't care. You could use, any kind of string and clothespins. And I thought about this one here, but the words would be sideways because I'm going to have it horizontally across and looping um, right above my fireplace. And I'm going to use the clothespins to hold on the decor. The idea here is, I mean, you could do hot glue or the 360, whatever it's called. I've got some of that stuff I got from like Ross or something. Um, and you could glue it. But if you use clothespins, you could use that exact same garland, especially if it doesn't have hearts all over it, just red. You could use that exact same garland for Christmas, right? So you could use Christmas and just swap out what you have on the clothespins so that instead of having like, there could be like little jingle bells or something, or like little, whatever, holly or something. And then from Christmas to February to Valentine's, you could swap those out and put in the hearts and that kind of stuff. So you actually would not have to change the garland from December to February. You could leave it up for 3 months, basically. Because there are people like me, busy, 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 right? The totes here I'm going to say, I don't think they're a good deal. I actually later went to, I want to say Home Depot, but it was Lowe's. I went to Lowe's with a friend a couple days later and was looking at their totes and stuff, and the small, because I wanted to do like color coordinating, like so it's easy to find in storage, like everything that's red is Christmas or everything that's red and green is Christmas. But the totes are really small and they're like $6 or $7, 6, 7. So I decided to pass on those. So looking here, they have a bunch of those little fleece throws for that price for, 5 or 6 or $6 or $7. You really can't beat that. I mean, if you're paying more than $20 for a fleece little throw, you're paying too much. I'll just put it that way. Um, For pets, I think those little fleece throws are a good deal for like cats and dogs. I don't think it's very expensive. And when you look at what they cost for a pet blanket, they're usually a lot more than that. Now, there's nothing wrong with just letting your animals have an old towel. They even like the smell of you on it. So, if you have a towel that you're going to throw away and it's not dirty, but maybe you just used it once or something and it's dry, you could use that for your pet blanket. And they actually do prefer to smell their owners. So that's just saying that washing them is optional. Um, I like to get one last use out of every fabric I have. So that is something that you can do. But I thought, if you're trying to be a little bit more bougie, a little bit more upscale, having something specific for them that's cute, especially if you're having like gatherings and stuff, and people are going to see what they're laying on, then do that. Animals don't care. They don't care. They just want to like be comfortable. And they have lots of stuff here. Now, because of the prices being so much more, I think quality really does matter way more than I used to be. I didn't used to be so picky with Dollar Tree stuff because I figured if it breaks, it was only $1. Well, now it's like if it breaks, it was $7 or $9. The plastic watering stakes here, I have a hack that I've used that makes it really convenient, because whenever you have those, you have to take them out and like squirt them out and like shake them up to get it'll get like a little muddy plug in there. But I have a hack. I will link that below so that you can or in the description. I'll link it in the description so you can see my little hack um, on how you can easily refill those doing something very simple. This here, I don't remember if I bought them or not. It's the whole garland idea. These would be for Easter. But the idea that you could use different materials, you could use yarn. Yes, I did get those. Okay. I was thinking about it. These cute little bunny butts, and they're so cute. You could stick these into like a planter, especially not in the house, not outside, because these are going to fall apart. But if you have them inside in planters, that would be really cute. You could even DIY this yourself. It would be fun. So for me, the art, I kind of describe myself to a couple people as like doing like arts and crafts. The artist part of me is my writing and like my creativity with words and lyrics. My DIY crafting is more like kids crafts, but they're fun. And if you have kids, if you have children of your own, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, somebody else's kids who come to your house, like for an event, doing arts and crafts with kids is so much fun. And when you make a garland or a Christmas ornament or, any of those kinds of things, if you make Valentine cards with them and you take out the stamps and, they're doing their little fingerprints all over things and writing I love you with their fingerprints, like that's special. And that's way more valuable to me than like things that you would see really upscale stuff, I'm not upscale. That's just not, I just isn't like, it's not important to me to be upscale. I see a lot of Dollar Tree videos now that's like rich people are making Dollar Tree videos, and I don't know why, but it really irritates me. I know I'm prejudiced against rich people, and I'm trying to work on that. But when I see somebody who has vaulted ceilings and like their countertop costs more than my car, I kind of have a hard time believing them when they're doing DIY Dollar Tree hauls. You know what I mean? And they will literally buy $100 worth of Dollar Tree stuff to make something that they could buy at Costco for $20. So that's not what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be wasting money like that, and I know that you aren't either. So these are kind of cute, but they look kind of cheap. So I figured, nah, I'm not going to get those. I do really want to do more arts and crafts with the kids in my family. And now that I'm going to be a grandma again, I'm going to have I'm going to be having a grandson. So I have a granddaughter. Now I'm going to have a grandson this summer. And so I'm like, okay, this is going to be so much fun. I'm getting ideas for time in the future that I could be doing with them as they get big enough. These are a great deal. You get, how many you get there? 4? I think you get 4 of those little mesh bags, and they're already put together. I don't know if there's 4 or not. I know there's more than one in there, I'm pretty sure. But they're cute little baggies. They are adorable already. Now you can make them yourself. The baristas at a couple of the coffee shops near me, the coffee shops sell the burlap bags that the coffee beans come in. And so, and they have been selling them for $1 for years. I'm not sure if they're still selling them for $1, but they basically have to get rid of them. They take up a lot of space. Some of the coffee bean bags, huh? They're like flaky and the fibers just fall off. And I'm not picky when I'm buying them from the people because I don't want to be a nuisance to them, and I will find uses for those items. But if you can get the ones that were like you kind of rub them and they don't fall apart, that would be ideal. But you can make them yourself. But for $1.25 for 4 of them already done, I think that's great for busy people. Just fill them with the goodies and then there you go, right? I think those bags would be especially good for like older kids who aren't doing Easter egg hunting anymore, but you can still show them that you're thinking about them by filling it with maybe their favorite candies and stuff like that. I bought 2 of those little clear containers because I am tired of having like all my little doodads in the bathroom falling over. Like, I don't have a lot of fancy stuff, but like lipsticks and fingernail polish and that kind of stuff um, is kind of accumulating a little bit. It's not looking nice, but if you have a cute little container like that that's just clear, you can see all your stuff. You know where it is, but it's not going to be constantly falling down. Um, they had a couple bare shelves, but most other shelves were full and with stuff that I am not used to seeing at this particular Dollar Tree. I like the idea of the red and green lids. You could do like a green lid for Christmas and a red lid for Valentine's, and that would be a way to organize your stuff that boom, you just know where your things are by seeing the color. I still like growing plants in solo cups. These are not $1.25. You can get one sleeve of them. It might not be the same brand. Like one sleeve of the cups for like $1.25 or $1.50, and they work really well. You can also just save like your creamer container, yogurt containers, um, sour cream containers, any kind of plastic container. You can cut or melt holes in them and use them for planting your starts. So don't feel like you have to buy something for that. But one thing is, if you're going to plant a lot of something, it's easier if all of the size and shapes are uniform, right? So this is a little bit better deal. I know that's $4 here, but oh, and their mops and stuff. I got so excited because I have been looking for the mop stick, and they finally had um a mop with the kit thing and whatever. It's not $1 there, you guys. I don't remember how much it was. I want to say it was 7, but I could be wrong. I finally had given up because I bought some of the mop heads, and I had one stick that you like screw into it, and it disappeared on me. So I still had some of the little heads. I thought, okay, I'll just buy one of the sticks. So I found one here. They have one. They had one, so I bought it. This right here, I don't like people who have like vaulted ceilings. I'm not really serious, you guys. If you're a nice person, I don't care how much money you make. But anyway, I got this because I have skylights. And I mean, I might not have them for very long because they have a little bit of water damage or moisture damage, I noticed. Um, I think it's not a problem anymore, but I think at one point it had been. So at some point I don't want to have to wall them off. But until then, and if I have to wall them off, I do what I do need to do because I'm not going to have water damage. But that duster is really long, really, really long. So I can use that for getting rid of like cobwebs and stuff. So that's been like a real nuisance to me is that because I will not kill spiders, sometimes I will get cobwebs. And it's crazy because they are so fast at replacing their webs. So, like, if I didn't catch it and release it, in a couple days, there's a cobweb in the corner again. It just happens so fast. So, um, I saw some cute picture frames here. I didn't buy picture frames this time because I still have a few from Hobby Lobby that I haven't put to use yet. So before I can justify buying more picture frames, I have to use them. They have diamond art stuff. They only had 3 choices, and I think they only had one of each. I didn't buy them because it's a lot of little pieces, and I just know it's going to be a really big mess. Um, but what do you think about diamond art? I've heard some people say that it's kind of over, and then I've heard some other people say they're just starting to get into it now. So, what do you think about the diamond art stuff? Are you into it? I really like the idea of it as being like a therapeutic thing, like adult coloring, or like Zentangles, that kind of stuff where it's like, or color by number, like for people who maybe aren't, who like art but don't have a knack for it. I think it's good. So, um, here we have some little flags. I would have liked that better if it was heart shaped. It's flag shaped, but if it was heart shaped, I would have gone for it. I might actually make some of my own little heart shaped doily type flags for a garland. That would be cute. I don't know. I still think I'm probably just going to do the ribbon and use clothespins and the little doodads I got there with all the little hearts. So they have a couple different sizes of the clothespins, and I'm going to have to experiment with the little wooden hearts I got to see which size of the clothespins I'm going to end up needing to use. Um, so they have all kinds of like little frames and stuff. That would be really fun. You know, I've paid an arm and a leg before to go to like painted plate stuff or those like make a painting together things, or I almost paid to do like a ceramics class, 6 week ceramics class, and I decided not to do it because I was like, you know what? I have so many art projects I can do that I already have the stuff for. Let's do that first before we start something new. So, their craft section is really good. And if you're not into Dollar Tree, you should check out Hobby Lobby because their craft section is really awesome. I mean, their whole store is a craft section, so I shouldn't call it a craft section. It's like the whole store. But their prices are also very good and comparable now. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this Dollar Tree little shopping spree. And you know what I say at the end of all my videos, even though it's not a gardening video, be good, be sweet, go garden if you want to eat, and I will see you next time.